Hey there, it's Leo from Firecrawl, and in this video, we'll take a look at how I used Claude Opus 4.6 to build this entire extension. It is powered by Firecrawl's agent endpoint to whenever I have a field like this, discount code, and click on search for coupons with Firecrawl, it finds 5 different coupons, ranks them as how reliable they are. So this home 200, I can copy that, insert it in there, or just click on add coupon. As soon as I hit apply, this is an actual working coupon that I can use. I've actually been doing this for a while, and this finds coupons for many different websites. But now I finally created the actual extension. You'll have access to the entire prompt as well as the GitHub repository where you can also have access to this extension for free. Not only will we be taking a close look at how Claude Opus 4.6 builds things, but we'll also use the new agent team feature from Claude Code. For that, we'll need tmux, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically this. Look how brilliant it is to just see many different versions of Claude Code running from a single orchestrator agent. This is exactly what we're aiming for. So let's get started. First of all, you'll want to install tmux. To do that, in case you're in Mac, it should be just brew install tmux. And since I already have it installed, it'll probably just check for updates or whatever. Okay, that is done. If you're in Windows, I believe you can install it by using shoko install tmux. Okay, that was pretty easy. Now let's add the settings.json. And this is important because we want to instruct Claude to use this experimental agent teams. So we'll want to add this instruction. To do that, just go over to your project. This should already be a folder where your project will be placed in. Create a folder called .claude. And in that folder, which you probably already have for a project that you're already running Claude in, just type in settings.json. In the settings.json file, you'll want to add this. Now, the reason I'm specifically adding this line is, at least for me, it bugged in knowing that it should use tmux, and this really helped. So you might eventually not need this. All right, we're done with that. Now let's run tmux and then execute Claude Code. To do this, the Claude documentation recommends using an external terminal, not inside of VS Code because of the limitations with tmux, but basically just type in tmux. This will start something just similar to the terminal with more features, and now you can execute Claude. All right, as you can see, I'm running Claude Code version 2.1.33. This is really recent. I think the 33 is from the past hour, and with Opus 4.6. So now we can check this off and start working on adding the Firecrawl plugin to Claude Code. And the reason you'd want to do this is to empower Claude Code with Firecrawl features. Instead of using the common browsing features from Claude that sometimes uses curl, can't access some JavaScript rendered websites, you'll actually have access to a much more powerful scraper that can perform many different actions to fetch for the data that you need. So TLDR, it's faster, it's more precise, and won't fill up your context window as much as through using the default search from Claude. And to add it, all you'll have to do is 2 commands. So plugin marketplace add Firecrawl CLI. After you hit enter, the marketplace should be created successfully. So now just plugin install Firecrawl at Firecrawl CLI. Hit enter, and now you'll have to select where you want this to be installed in. I prefer installing it in the project scope. So let me select that. And now you're pretty much good to go. Eventually it will ask for authentication, but this will be as easy as having your browser open to just click one button and be authenticated to use Firecrawl. All right, we're done adding Firecrawl's plugin to Claude, and now let's just work on sending the prompt. And on that matter, let's talk a little bit about the branding format that, since I did place its output inside of the prompt, and I think it's pretty important just to show how I got this, which is just by using the branding format over at the playground. You don't really need to go over to the website and grab all this. You can just have Firecrawl skills search for a specific website's design. But what I'm doing here is just extracting Firecrawl's colors, finding the URL for its logo, adding what is the personality of the brand. All this just to make sure that the extension actually corresponds with the brand that I'm building on. I am not about to waste your time reading through this entire prompt. If you have any questions on any section added here, feel free to reach out in the comment section below. So now that I have everything configured, let's just make this terminal a bit bigger so that it can split the screen and actually have different agents in all these different parts of the terminal. And by the way, I specify to use the agent team down in the very bottom where I say create an agent team to build each part. Understand how everything can be handled by the team and create angles. So it should just understand which agent should take care of design, which should be building the components, which should be verifying everything, and just all that. Okay, I just hit enter. It'll probably now figure out I am not authenticated in the Firecrawl CLI. So now this should open up. Let me click on authorize CLI and back to the terminal. It should know that I'm authenticated and just start working on it. As you can see, it just used Firecrawl to search for all the documentation needed. Now that it has the full context, it'll create the extension by using Plasmo. I actually specified that inside of the prompt. And only now that it's starting the project, it recognized that it should create the team to just assign all the tasks for each different agent. This might take a while, but eventually Claude will just have all the agents start working and you configured tmux correctly. The side panel for these agents should open up automatically. Each one with a different color. So up here, there's a purple one, green one. The main agent is just orchestrating and handling everything. We now also have a yellow or orange agent here. Okay, apparently it closed all the other agents, has the extension built successfully. Soon enough, we should be able to test it. Okay, now that it's done, apparently it built the extension. So we should have a production folder in here. And to have your Chrome access that, just go over to manage extensions. If you have developer mode toggled off, you'll want to toggle this on. It's this toggle up here. Click on load unpacked, navigate over to that build folder, select the specific production folder, click select. You should now see the extension right over here. Let me deactivate this other one that I actually iterated on because most builds you don't really want to aim for a single shot. Usually there is one glitch or another, and after like a few more prompts, you should be good to go. So let's test it in here, which is a website that worked previously. Let me right click on the input field. There it is. So search for coupons with Firecrawl. After clicking that, nothing really happened. And now you can find the errors down here. So what I can do here is just copy everything, go back to my Claude Code instance, paste it in, and it should figure out what's going on. Actually, ideally, you would just want to get this line to not fill up the context window, but it should be fine. Okay, it reported back that it was fixed. Let's clear all the errors, go back to extensions. I mean, it's a good idea to just refresh the extension here. And in the website that you're testing it on, it's a good idea to also refresh that website. So now let's test it again. After I clicked it, the extension opened up here. Probably it's not going to search anything because I didn't input my Firecrawl API key. Let's fetch for that. Okay, after I add the Firecrawl key, I clicked save. It shows the credits I have remaining. I also have, oh, nice, different themes depending, and it's actually based on my system, so I can just leave it for system. This toggles the API section as well as the credit section. And now I can just click on search for coupons here. All right, seems like it's searching. This might take a while. And by the way, you have 5 free executions of the agent endpoint with Firecrawl every single day. So if you want to give it a shot and find coupons now and then, you'll have 5 shots at that every day. Okay, it actually took like 50 seconds or such. So it found this coupon, which, yeah, I already know it works. Let's just see if clicking on this button actually adds it there. Okay, it did. So let me hit apply. This should work. So that's about like $40. And it correctly organized everything for me. I actually feel like this is even a bit better than the previous one. And it nearly one-shotted it. So that's pretty cool. But let's test if it works on other websites. Let me type in whatever here inside of Perkbun. It's just a website I use to buy domains. Let's select something like whatever dev. Okay, let's go to the checkout. Now inside of the checkout, there's an apply coupon down here. Let me right click that, click to search for coupons. Doesn't seem to be working. Let me try it again. Yeah, it seems like it just opens up the extension. But if I click on search for coupons, it should then start searching. Okay, again, about 50 seconds, it brought back some results. It seems like it's a $1 discount, which, I mean, I'll take it. So add coupon, it adds it to the input field. Now update cart, let's see if it applies. Okay, it did. That's pretty good. Okay, so we checked off this, and the iteration part is just making sure that, well, it's not going to be perfect in the first try. You'll want to iterate even for design purposes. So if I open up the extension here, you'll see that this logo is kind of squished. This isn't the actual logo I was aiming for. So ideally, I'd iterate and actually have it look more as I imagined it to be. But if you're trying to improve how to build these type of apps, take a look at the prompt, like really read through it. You'll notice that I add specific instructions for Claude to provide context over to Firecrawl's agent in a way that the agent will make sure to find coupons for that specific product, not just for Hostinger, for example. So Hostinger has specific coupons for whenever someone's buying a VPS, for example, that are not coupons applied for domains. And if the Firecrawl agent has enough context to fetch for that, then it's more likely to find a coupon that will work. But yeah, that's it for today. Make sure to also iterate on the repository if you'd like, so that eventually we have a pretty nice extension to find any coupon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then.